What's going on? It's SFT. Please subscribe and let's get into the video. The concept of tanking is pretty much to lose as much games as possible because in the draft, you're going to be rewarded with the number one overall pick based on your record. That pick, we all know, can be franchise changing. You can get that franchise quarterback and it can boot a multi-year playoff run or multi-year potentially Super Bowl run, and it can give you a consistent amount of success but stability at a key position. Or you can pick up on an elite receiver to add to your team, or an elite offensive lineman that will be there for the next 10 to 12 years, or an excellent defensive player, whether it be a safety or a defensive tackle that can be there for a multitude of years and can be a pillar in your team. There's so much benefits towards drafting in that top 5, top 10 spot. We all know that teams trade a boatload to get up to that top 10 spot. You're also able to utilize their rookie contract. The rookie contract is a contract that is set at a given amount for most players. The most goes to the first overall pick and is slightly begins to decrease and decrease the more and more after. Now, there also comes with the consequences of it. We talk about the ruining of careers in terms of teams that get draft picks. We look at clearly the damn Browns. They got a multitude of first round draft picks, ruin them, fail to develop them. The importance of developing players, them coming in, having a stable environment. You can't simply bring in talent and expect it to work with itself or for it to shine when there's not the right utilities and coaching and developing that can really maximize their talent, especially at the professional level. You're not in college where you're the best athlete on the field, or you probably came from a prep school, so you're a little bit more prepared. No, you're going to the NFL. They're spending big money. They're getting guys who are just as good as you, the number one in their class, and they're coming through to play, and they're just as good as you. So we're talking about great young talent being situated in a team that doesn't have the facilities to develop this young player. If we look at clearly this year, Caleb Williams struggling his last couple of games. The guy's just been playing terrible. Can't make his checkdowns, can't make his reads. That bravado coming off that fourth win, starting off 4-2, died off heavily. You're going against better teams, better defenses. They're throwing blitzes at you. You're struggling to make your reads, to know when to throw the ball on time. You don't have a natural feel of the game because the game is happening at a completely different pace. This is not USC where you can run backwards and fling the ball across your body. No, this is the NFL. Outside of players that go to bad teams, fail to be developed, and their rookie contracts get exploited. I talk about in the Bryce Young video about how rookie contracts, instead of being looked at, especially quarterbacks, instead of being looked at like a Jordan Love, where 3 to 4 years we're going to see how you look, or 3 years of developing in, we're going to see how you look. No, they're throwing you in the deep end. They're treating you like Josh Allen. That first year, terrible. Second year, we're getting a little bit better here. Third year, okay, huge boost. And then fourth year, you look really good now. They're treating it like that. They want to maximize that rookie contract. They want to maximize the window and the ability to spend on running backs or linemen or bolster up their defense so they can make a push. But you're not mature enough yet. You're not there yet. You look at a guy this year in CJ Stroud, they spent a significant amount of money on receivers. Their receivers got injured, but outside of that, his performances have been poor. We got to keep it real. These have been some poor performances, and yes, you have to look at them and say, you got to do better, but a lot of times you have to look at this coaching staff and say, is this the right approach we need to be making? We had a really successful season last season, yes, but should the goal this season be Super Bowl or bust? With a rookie quarterback? With a second-year quarterback? I don't know. Just my thoughts. But we're going to get to teams that need to tank and how it's looking right now. We got Las Vegas first, New York Giants second, New England third, fourth Jacksonville, Carolina fifth, sixth Tennessee, Cleveland seventh, and the Jets eighth. Ninth in Chicago Bears, and New Orleans 10. Oh, New Orleans, man. Idiots. The idiot Saints. But we're going to start off with the Saints because I clearly just can't understand. You had a period of time where you were struggling to win football games. After those 2 games flying high, you struggled for weeks on weeks on weeks. I believe they ended up being 2-7. One thing I just can't understand. They fired their head coach, it makes sense. But I just can't understand the fact that those players, after they lost to the Carolina Panthers, got their head coach fired, were like, you know what? It's time for us to wake up now. No, we got to commit to the tank. We have to commit to the tank, man. You got Derek Carr, you got Derek Carr with potentially 2 to 3 more years. And do you know how much they owe him? They owe him 130 million. They owe him a lot of money that they deferred back. Yes, they'll find a way to clean it up, but on average quarterback, you guys should have started a rebuild. during Jameis Winston era, right after Drew Brees. But guess what? You don't do that. You try to extend a poor window and you make poor decisions. I can't wrap my head around teams like the Saints, the Falcons, teams such like that. You guys need to draft a young rookie quarterback in the first round. Not the second, not the third round. You're probably not going to hit there. No, you need a first round talent. Bring them in, develop them, and work with that. Why are you trying to be so different? What makes the Saints think they're any better than the Falcons? The Falcons just benched Kirk Cousins. The Saints should have benched Derek Carr. The guy's been playing like garbage after the first 3 games. And I'm looking at this team, and I'm thinking to myself, your defense, you have one of the highest cap spaces in the league. Your quarterback ain't getting no younger, no healthier. He's not even playing good while he's healthy. So many problems. If you just tanked properly, if you just rebuilded your team properly. And the worst part is, they re-signed Alvin Kamara. I can maybe look at that and say, you know what, if you were to get a new quarterback, rookie quarterback to come in, Alvin Kamara could be excellent. He could be, somebody to lean on. An elite check down option. You can run the ball through him. You can run the offense through him. They already are. But no, you got that bum Derek Carr. Man, it's a shame. I like the Saints. But why do that to yourself? You look at a team, then you look at a team like the Raiders. Years and years and years of ineptitude. I can't remember the last time they had a positive record. You guys need a tank. I heard Max Crosby make some comments about, I'm not here to tank. I want to win no matter what. That sounds great. Yes, you're in your prime. But this offense is the farthest away from their prime. Can't run the football necessarily well. Gave up on Josh Jacobs. I think they should have re-signed him. You see what he's doing with the Green Bay Packers. Yes, better system, better quarterback. So he looks so much better. And last year wasn't his best year, but the year before, 1,800 yards. Tell me this guy's not elite. He's not an elite run blocker, not an elite catcher at the backfield. Not the best. But in terms of just being that elite check down option and the way he runs the football, you gave up on that. Okay. But now you have Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell as your quarterback. Come on, man. We gotta go. We gotta go be serious. Tank. I'm tired of you guys having 6 and 10. No. We gotta go 1 in whatever. 1 in 16 if we have to. We gotta go get this rookie quarterback. We gotta get this. We need to prioritize a quarterback, man. I'm tired of hearing this nonsense. I think we could do something good this year. I think we can be competitive. You guys can't throw the football. You guys are struggling. You guys need to move on. I love the silver and black. I love the logo. I hate the fact that they're in Las Vegas. They have no business being in Las Vegas. They should be in Oakland. But come on, man. Let's grow up here. And to finish off with the Raiders, you had Jimmy Garoppolo from you had Jimmy Garoppolo. You signed him on a 3-year deal. So many bad decisions. This is what happens when you don't have a rookie quarterback, or you don't have at least somebody to lean on. You look at the Denver Broncos. I'm not the biggest fan of Bo Nix, but guess what? He's been playing really good this season. He's somebody to rely on. He's somebody to build off of. He matched Sean Payton. But let's get off the Raiders, man. Now, I'm getting pissed. I want to get to the Titans. So the Titans are another team. Quarterback, just drafted a quarterback in I believe 2nd or 3rd round. Will Levis brought in Mason Rudolph to be a backup. For a long period of time, they had this guy named Ryan Tannehill. Yes, I have to quickly check my notes for that, because Ryan Tannehill, I remember looking at that team saying, this is an elite defense. They got Derrick Henry. They got a really good offensive line. They had A.J. Brown. Don't forget that year. They had A.J. Brown. They had Julio Jones. He wasn't too washed up. They had a decent receiving core. And they had another guy, I believe, on that receiving core. I forgot who it was, but he was quite good. They had a solid football team. And they had a football team that was good enough to win a Super Bowl. Except they had that bum Ryan Tannehill. That manager Ryan Tannehill. A guy who couldn't make plays. He's such a disappointment. And the worst part about him is he didn't want to mentor the young guys, the young rookie quarterbacks coming through. He knew his time was done, but he didn't have enough love for the team to just say, you know what? My time's done. I fleeced them off enough money. Let me just hook these young guys up, hook this organization up, and help these young guys develop a little bit more, whatever I can give to them. Nah, man, he was selfish. And now he's teamless. But looking back at this team with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, Will Levis just got benched. He's been a meme the last couple of weeks. 3 interceptions, a poor performance, a really poor performance, and I don't know what to say, man. I knew Will Levis wasn't going to be good coming into the season. I knew in terms of what he was doing in Kentucky, he was a good prospect, but outside of a prospect, decision making is really poor. His ability to make reads is not the best. He's not a bad talent. If he can clean up his act, he would be very good if they can approach, if a team like, if this team can approach him the same way the Denver Broncos approach Bo Nix. But yes, Bo Nix is a significantly better quarterback and better decision maker. But if they can approach him the same way and put him on a leash, the same way they put Bo Nix on a leash in Denver, not allow him to make those mistakes, those stupid throws, then you start to get a much more polished quarterback. But I just think that his time is done. They need to move on from him. The coach benched him. Their coach is just, he was talking about how dare you call my team soft. My man, you need to worry about better things than people calling your team soft. Your team sucks. You guys need to draft a quarterback. And you're sitting right now 6th. You're probably not going to draft a quarterback. You're going to have to draft a defensive tackle because you need one too. You need a lot of stuff. You're 3-11 with this roster. This is not a bad roster. Last year, I thought they underachieved 5 and 12. I believe they were last year. And I thought last year, man, this team really deteriorated. A lot of injuries at the quarterback position. That was the reason why. This year, that's not a reason, man. They're just a bad football team with a bad coach. I don't know how he got the job. But let's get to this next team. Made a video about them, the Giants. Thankfully, the Giants are in 2nd. Last year, they had the little Tommy DeVito spell. That man cursed them. And I respect the hell out of the New York Giants for benching him. After the first game, I respect the hell out of them because they're like, you know what? We really need to dedicate ourselves to this tank. We're tired of playing games. I don't know how their general manager still has a job. I don't know how their head coach is going to survive. I don't think he should. But the big thing that matters is they're getting a new quarterback, man. Either Cam Ward should do their standards, quality quarterbacks. I think Dylan Gabriel is a good quarterback. He should get shown a lot more love. He's not the size that you'd want from a quarterback. Definitely he's underwhelming in terms of that. And his competition he has played against this year hasn't been the best. But I think personally he's been accurate, running the plays, and he's just been really impressive to me with Oregon and even with my Oklahoma team. He was just really impressive. But I'm pretty sure I got one more team, and we're getting off on a little bit of a lighter note. The Seahawks. The Seahawks, to me, with Geno Smith are done. This relationship, he was supposed to be just something that you could hold on to until you get to that next franchise quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback. Geno Smith, 34. We need to move on from this. You know, you bring in a rookie quarterback right now with where are they? They're situated right now at the 18th overall pick. So they're 8-6. They might need to trade up a little bit to get themselves a quarterback. They don't have to get themselves a quarterback this year. Maybe next year they can get themselves a quarterback, but they need to dedicate themselves to the tank. They just need to read the scriptures and practice the tank like the New York Giants have this year. Find ways to lose football games. That is the way of the tank. Find ways to fumble games away, like against the Panthers. That is the way of the tank. Do you hear the New York Giants fan base be mad at their running back 29 Tracy after he fumbled that game away against the Panthers? No. They were praying for him. They were grateful. They said, we appreciate your services. You've been playing good this season. But yo, why try to score? You gotta relax right now. And the Seahawks, they need some of them. They need some of them dogs down there because Seahawks are just going to be a first-round exit. You saw what the Green Bay Packers did to them on Sunday Night Football in Seattle. They handled them. If I'm a team like Seattle, man, we really need to look to the tank. Please, man, just accept the tank. Stop being this average football team and still trying to push for nothing. No, accept the tank. Dedicate yourself to the tank. Go to the tank and get yourself a fresh top. I would say if you can get yourself a top 10 pick, you should be grateful next year. But this year might not be it. You might need to trade 2 first-round picks to get into it. If I was them, I would trade with Carolina. Carolina sitting at 5th. I would trade with Jacksonville. Those are some good teams to trade with in terms of, you know what, you guys have had a shocking year, yes, but you guys don't really need this first-round pick. You guys need to cut some players, make some new signings. They got finessed by Josh Hines-Allen. But outside of that, Seattle needs to find a way to come up and to situate and get that young, fresh quarterback. The same way the Green Bay Packers did. They need to do that. But that's all I have to say for this video, man. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Take care. Peace.